What's up, everybody? Welcome. Wouldn't it be easier to master the A, B, and C so that when we reach X, Y, and Z, which is our income, our money, our security, the emotion that is tied to the reason why we sacrifice so many hours, why we sacrifice the weekend, why we put ourselves under so much grind just to hit that result or that goal or that quota or that unit or that tier, right? We put so much of ourselves in, but how much time do we actually focus on doing the A, B, and C? Wild, right? Blows your mind.
No banger.
Today is Friday, April 6th, 2018. For most of us, it's payday. And, and as I thought of that, I wanted to ask a question. I actually thought of two different subjects. The number one is you're on the right path, like your mindset's on the right track. If you didn't even realize it was payday, like you completely forgot, like, oh, it is payday. That's when it's a good sign that you're on the right track. And let me tell you why. Is because it's a clear sign that you're not living check to check. It's a clear sign that you're not necessarily there just for the paycheck, right? But if you are in a state where you're like, damn, man, 2 more days till payday. Damn, I can't wait till it deposits. Damn, you know what I mean? You need it in order to proceed. So in other words, it becomes your anchor. So your payday becomes your anchor. And you might be like, well, dude, it's easy for you to say, bro, you're a fucking team manager. Well, bro, I had to earn my way up there. And I'm gonna tell you what I learned on my climb. And so if you're in a position where your anxiety or your frustration or your kind of like your mentality, your attitude is limited based on your payday, like you were a dick all week until today because you're gonna get paid, or like you were sweating, you were worried all until this morning just because you knew you were gonna get paid. Anyway, that was one subject, and needless to say, I'm gonna make an entire topic on that video or a separate video on that alone. But my primary reason for bringing up payday is because I thought about it of how we as individuals choose to spend our net income. And the reason why I thought about this was because I got a notification for any of you guys who live in California, or wherever you are in this country or earth. You guys might have something similar to it. Here in California, we have what's called Fast Track. And Fast Track is kind of just an alternative. It's a convenient alternative to traffic. So you have to pay though in order to use this Fast Track, right? And so the toll is, if you don't pay it within, I think, 3 days, if you don't pay it, it goes from like, I think $6 all the way up to fucking $48, right? So they get you and they hope that you don't pay in 3 days, which a lot of people don't, because you got to log in, then you got to put in your, they put a couple hills that you got to climb in order to pay online. And so it becomes easier to make an account, but nobody wants to make an account because they're like, oh, I don't use this, I only use this sometimes. But what happens is, because of the convenience of not necessarily logging in or pulling up their license number and having to create an account, for that immediate convenience, they're taking the risk long term. Anyway, that's just an analogy, but the reason why I thought about that is because I was notified from Fast Track. I have an account myself, but I got something in the mail saying, hey, you used the Fast Track twice. We used it twice this past Easter weekend to go out to Riverside, which is on the opposite side of Orange County. And so anyway, we use this toll road, and I already have an account, so it should have registered. They take pictures of the car or what have you. They make sure that you don't get away with it. They take a picture of your VIN number, they take a picture of your license plate, and sure enough, you're gonna get some notification in your mail, and saying, hey, where's my $7? If you don't pay it by this date, you owe me 50. So it's a business. I'm cool with that. And you're gonna notice that this toll road, even though they charge $7, it's people are paying premiums to avoid traffic. And so this toll road is, oddly enough, there's always people on it. Anyway, the reason why I bring that up is because I used to live in Riverside, and you might experience this in another way. You might think back, or even currently right now, where you're paying a premium for convenience. You're paying extra on something that you don't necessarily need to pay extra on, just for the convenience to save you what you believe is time, to save you what you believe is money, right? And save you headache, save you, worry, save you anxiety. And so you might pay a premium, such as, like, let's say Amazon Prime, right? You pay, I think it's like $100 a year, just so you can get better shipping, or you get notifications, or you get ebooks. So you may pay for something, even like a gym membership. You may currently be paying a premium for something that you don't even use, but you believe it's convenient and it's just nice to have. And so why I bring that up is because, as you may have already heard on my previous videos, I'm finalizing my digital product. My digital product is basically a digital training course for loan officers, and I put a lot of thought into this. And in doing so, I really wanted to pick the brain of people who actually who actually go through training courses, who look at training the way I do, who looks at training as kind of like the cheat code, who looks at sales training and sales coaching as a fast track to get to the destination, right? And so I was picking the brains of people around me, asking them like, hey man, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Because I want to serve my audience much better. And this is why the content here is so enriched with quality and value and relevancy. I hope that's a word. Relevancy. And it's because it's real. And, this is something that we're going through every day, and I get to practice the message, and I'm fortunate because I get to share the message with individuals around me. I'm surrounded by the best sales agents in the industry, let alone my company. And so I just have this divine opportunity in front of me that I already have the mindset of not, taking anything for advantage, right? Not taking anything for granted. So I'm going to make sure that I serve my audience well. And so in producing this digital content, which is an amazing course, when you see this, man, woo, you're going to be proud of your boy. It took over a year to really, tailor the message, but patience is everything, right? And so now I've created this product that literally goes from alpha to omega, and it teaches you all the core pieces of how to be a solid sales agent as a loan officer. And what's beautiful about it is the way it's made, you actually can apply it to anything. You could apply it to any industry. Of course, it's going to be, the wordplay, the tailored pitches, and a lot of the objections that I cover in there, because I got a whole section just straight on objections. Like every objection you could think of, not only the objection, but when you will meet that objection, when you usually face that objection, how to get around that objection, and how to address that objection before it even comes out. So imagine, all these videos that I've ever done on here are all freestyle. Freestyle meaning that I turn the camera on and I just start talking, and I'm going with the rhythm, right? That's why I'm pretty good at these, like after the gym or on my way to work, is because I'm primed. My pistons are firing is usually what I'll say in my other videos. And what I mean by that is that I'm warmed up, I'm optimized. I'm already thinking, I'm already aware, alert, and so it's very easy for me to freestyle some content and not necessarily write it down. It's not scripted or anything, and I'll just jump in. Well, imagine if I did have a script. Imagine if I did actually sit down, focus, and looked at you the entire time, and the message was about you individually, you. And I said, hey, this is basically what the game's about. This is how you create a system. This is how you play a system. This is how you build the system. This is how you automate the system. Right? And then I showed you everything about mindset. Like, hey, these are the 4 core things that you're going to need to build a mindset. Hey, this is how you maintain that mindset. This is how you sustain that mindset. Everything about the core values of having a solid attitude. And then we went from there, and then I said, okay, now I'm going to show you how to hunt for business. So now I'm doing everything from showing you how to sell an inbound lead and how to sell an outbound lead. I give you the exact wording and scripting of what to use and how to approach them. And not only that, but I also give you the bridges. So like the transitions, like, okay, you say this and then it leads you to this, and then you say this and then you can go into this. And if they say this, then you do this and this and this. So it's literally, I'm like walking you through the entire process. And I think it's pretty unique because I had the intent behind it, and ever since day one, was how do I communicate with both the rookie, meaning someone coming in and probably been in the business for less than a year, let alone less than a month. And then how do I communicate to a seasoned veteran, like someone who's been doing it, but maybe have, just kind of, they didn't change with the times, right? Like everything's kind of evolved around them, and they might be worried that, oh man, this younger generation is just coming in, they got so much of a huge advantage. And this course ultimately becomes kind of a, more or less a kind of just a guide to get back on track, right? Because a lot of the stuff that is being shared or is being given in this course is the exact ingredients of what brought that top producer to where they're at. And so sometimes that reaffirmation of those steps is all they need. And I know this because I see it all the time. I see veterans all around me saying, oh man, that was a great idea. Hey man, I just did it. And you're right. You know, it just definitely worked. It was so much smooth. And I'm glad because number one, it brought them back to their own and it gave them their hustle back. And that attitude now I know goes home with them. And so when they go home, they're in a better state. They could sleep. Right. And so we're all like family because we spend so much time together. Right. We're around each other more than we are with our family. So I want nothing but the best for those that I'm around. And this training does that. It literally gives someone the fast track. Right. And so my question bringing up the fast track was if we're so, if we're so entitled or enticed to spend money like on fast track for the convenience of saving us time and money, how much do we actually invest in ourselves? Meaning that every single day you have a task, whether it's to generate a sale, whether it's to complete your job, whether it's to do A, B, and C, you have an objective. And my question is, how much time do you invest in mastering that process to reach that objective, right? So if you have to do A, B, and C to get X, Y, and Z, how good are you at A, B, and C? And do you take the time to invest in your own A, B, and C? Because the results of X, Y, and Z is only going to affect you, right? And so the results of X, Y, and Z is going to give you your desire. And so if you knew A, B, and C was your bridge to X, Y, and Z, how much are you investing to master your A, B, and C? How much are you giving, how much time, like it doesn't even have to be money, how much time are you giving yourself to ensure that your A, B, and C is flawless so that X, Y, and Z is automated? X, Y, and Z just comes to you. You are attracting X, Y, and Z. You're not chasing X, Y, and Z. But it all depends on how good your A, B, and C is. Follow me? I hope you do. And so I'd love to know your input because this product is gonna be ready, right? It's gonna be ready. And of course I'm always thinking like, well, you know, how can I bring the most value to this particular person? How can I bring the most value to that particular person? And what sits in the back of my head is, you know, what's funny is I have a lot of thoughts of you know, how will it affect this person, but what it comes down to is the truth, the reality, and the reality is something I got to accept. And reality is people will train for self-defense. People will spend money and train for physical well-being, but people will not train and spend money to learn their A, B, and C so that they could reach X, Y, and Z, which typically results in income. And every single day we do so many actions just so we can generate income. And I know income doesn't rule everything. It doesn't buy happiness, but it sure does play a pretty big role in making sure that you provide, you have security, you have peace of mind, you know what I mean? Like it just gives you options and it improves the quality of your life. It gives you, you know, more flexibility. So while money doesn't rule everything, if we understand money plays this important role and it plays that it's basically the foundation that holds us up, wouldn't it be easier to do what we got to do every single day with money in our pocket? Wouldn't it be easier to master the A, B, and C so that when we reach X, Y, and Z, which is our income, our money, our security, the emotion that is tied to the reason why we sacrifice so many hours, why we sacrifice the weekend, why we put ourselves under so much grind just to hit that result or that goal or that quota or that unit or that tier, right? We put so much of ourselves in, but how much time do we actually focus on doing the A, B, and C? Wild, right? Blows your mind. So let me know if this made sense. Give me a heart, give me a thumbs up. Please tag someone that really needs to see this. And if you want to know about the product and when it's launched, I would imagine it's probably going to be about maybe 2 more weeks. So not end of next week, but the end of the following week. I'll do a countdown. So if you're not on my Instagram feed, if you're not on the Facebook feed, be sure you get on that. I'm going to give random updates and fun facts through the story. So that's where you actually catch the content, and it's going to be daily, you know, and I'm excited for it. I hope you're excited for it. And I know for sure when I was coming up in this game, it wouldn't have taken me this long to be good at my A, B, and C's if I had this particular product, because it literally showed me the only things that I need to spend my time on. It showed me the only areas that I need to master. And if I would have just mastered these 4, components of the system, right? Of the secret formula, that's actually the name of it, the secret formula. It's basically the 4 core components of the system that we make that makes us money. and the system that we create, that we automate, that generates the results automated, automatically. Like it's literally, it's a conveyor belt. And you're going to look at sales in a completely different way. It's going to fucking blow your mind. You're going to be like, whoa, I could have done this the whole entire time. And yeah, so I can't wait to announce it. I can't wait to roll it out. I can't wait to get my first round of students. It's going to be a digital content product and then also live coaching. So you're going to get to work with me directly. And so this is something that I've been looking forward to. It's about 18 months in the making, or at least it's been 18 years in the making, but 18 months in production, right? So a lot of this brand channel, a lot of my earlier content videos was practice. It was just me getting familiar with the camera, me creating a brand, while at the same time me learning different editing skills. Anyway, I don't want to bore you. You can go check out the playlist and see a bit of my history and see exactly where I'm coming from. And if I've earned your respect, if this is your first time watching a Sales Remastered video, I appreciate your attention and I'm so glad we found each other. I'm going to help you get to the top. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.